Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. I'm so glad you've stopped by again today. This is that vegetable stand that you find along the country road, and all those fresh, healthy, organic vegetables in those bins just waiting for you to buy. Daily Dose Radio is kind of like that, because all these episodes of the Psalter that we've been studying, from Psalm 1 all the way now to Psalm 90, and you can pick any one of them, and it's good for you, it's healthy, it's fresh, and delicious. Today we're looking at Psalm 90, and the last, 4 verses, I think, of Psalm 90. That's our subject today, 14 through 17. Now, we've been following Moses. He's our psalmist this week. From verse 1, he draws this beautiful picture of the eternality of God. In verse 3 through 6, he gives us the picture of man's temporary nature. Then he adds on to that in 7 through 10 with the sin problem that we deal with in our temporary life. Then in 11 through 13, we have the judgment of God being described, and our request, the beginning of the request for mercy. So we have the temporary nature of man, the sin problem, then the beginning of the request, because God is going to judge that sin. Verse 13 said, "Return, O Lord, how long? Let it repent thee concerning thy servants." Now we come to 14 through 17, and that request kind of gets a little more specific. Listen to 14. "O satisfy us early with thy mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days wherein thou hast afflicted us, and the years wherein we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy glory unto their children. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it." So we have 14 through 17, and I read there from the King James translation. I wanted to read King James today to give you the contrast, because especially 14, it's very important here. It's a good translation, "O satisfy us early," but if you translate that word that's translated early as early, I think you miss a nice comparison, because actually the word means satisfy us in the morning with your mercy. And if you translate it as in the morning, then you immediately think of what we read back there in verse 6. Remember verse 6? In the morning it sprouts anew until that evening when it withers and dries up. Now he's talking about the grass there, and that, by the way, is my translation of 6. So in the morning represents that connection between verse 6 and 14. So in the morning, let your mercy come upon us is the idea, that satisfy us early, or satisfy us in the morning, which reminds us of verse 6, that in the morning it flourishes and it grows up, but then in the evening it's cut down. It withers and dries up. So early on, that is, in the morning of our grass-growing days, let us have your mercy, because we must have your mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days, because our days are few. You know, it's like the grass. In the morning it sprouts, in the evening it withers and dries up. So if we have your mercy early, then we can enjoy our days. 15 says, "Make us glad according to the days wherein thou hast afflicted us, and the years when we've seen evil." That reminds me of that passage there in the book of Genesis, when Joseph brings his father Jacob before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh asks him the question, "How old are you?" And he says, "My days have been few and evil." And so we have that same kind of thing here. Our days are few and evil. And guess what? We must call upon the Lord, apply our heart to wisdom, and seek Him so that we might obtain that mercy early in the morning of our days, that we might enjoy our days forever, for the rest of our life. So I hope that that's an encouragement to you. Call upon the Lord today. Seek His mercy, follow His way, and apply wisdom to your heart. I hope you'll join me again next week on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.